Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you're not new, hi again. This is my channel. I love making anything DIY, home decor pieces, everything on a budget. I love to do thrift flips, and I also absolutely love making wreaths. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. I would love to have you. And also, leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. And give me a thumbs up because that helps my channel. And I'm also on Instagram and Pinterest. You can follow me there. I'm always posting new things that I make. And I also have an Etsy shop. It's called Krista's Wreath Designs. I love to make wreaths, and I have lots of wreaths in there. So that will be down below as well, the link. This is all about Hello Spring, and our hosts are the Rusted Willow, DIY from House to Home, and the co-host guest is Rustic and Lace. So it's all about making spring DIYs. So the first DIY I have for you is so simple. I got these little bunnies at Dollar General, and they had these little flowers on the top, but I just kind of chipped them off with my little utensil. And then what I did is I traced the bunny out on a scrapbook piece of paper, which is so pretty. Look at that paper. It's so pretty. And I got this booklet a long time ago of scrapbooking paper. And I just love the colors, and I think they are so good for spring. So what I did is I traced it out, and now I'm just going to stick it down. Now I didn't Mod Podge. I used my glue stick, but you can use Mod Podge if you like. But the glue stick worked just fine for me. And then once I got all the glue on really good, I just made sure that I stuck it down really well, and I smoothed it out so there's no bubbles or anything. And then the back of the bunny, I decided I was going to color it with some paint. So what I did is I used this Tea Rose, it's called, and it's a beautiful pink color by Folk Art. And I absolutely love this color for spring or Easter. It's just beautiful. And all I did was paint the back. And then what I did is I went on to the next one. Now this scrapbook paper, I got a pad, and it's all purple colored. Beautiful spring papers, and I bought this a while ago. I think at Tuesday morning, and it just is beautiful. So what I did is I forgot to take the sticker off, of course. I turned it around and I traced it out like the other one. And I had two of these, and these little bunnies, I think they were $2 at Dollar General. So they weren't too expensive, but I'm showing you, see how they did these little applique flowers on it, and I just didn't want them because I was going to be, putting the scrapbook paper over it, but I'm sure these would look cute too painted with the flowers as well, but I wanted to use them in a different way. So now we're going to take some of that beautiful scrapbooking paper after I smooth it down with my sandpaper block that's also from the Dollar Tree. And once I get that nice and smooth, then I can do my scrapbook paper. So I just wanted to kind of show you what I did to get that off. And now I'm just going to do the same thing. And these mechanical pencils stink. I got these at the Dollar Tree, and I'm thinking, oh, mechanical pencils, let's try these. Because I just use them for like this kind of DIY stuff, and the tips kept breaking off. I'm like, oh, regular pencils is your best bet. So anyway, now what I'm doing is I am just going to stick that beautiful, they have these beautiful lilac like wildflowers on there, and I just think it's such a pretty paper. So I love purple, it's my favorite color. So I'm going to stick that down. And then what I'm going to do with the back of it is the same thing that I did with the other one. Now this one I painted the back with a lavender color by Folk Art. So I just painted it really good. And I believe I only did one coat on the pink one and one coat on this one. And once that was all done, then they had in the middle, if you saw in the beginning, they had the little cottontails, and I'm going to still use those. But first what I did is I wanted them to look a little bit of vintage. So what I did is I took some of my, oh my God, Waverly And I just like distress the edges a little bit with the antique wax. And it's just a little brush that I had. I mean, you can use any tiny brush that you have, but it's kind of like a stiff brush and it helps to distress the edges. And I just went along the edges of this one and the purple one just to give it that little bit of vintage look to it, which I absolutely love. I just love anything vintage. It's just so pretty. And especially for springtime, I just think it's a gorgeous look. And I did that all the way around the bunny. And I think I showed you this the whole thing because some people are like, how do you distress? Or I get questions. And so I left this in so that you guys could see. And it's just really just tipping, your brush just a little bit on the edges. And using a smaller brush, you have a little bit more control, I think, than using the big brush. I did also distress the back of these though. So I do turn them around. I use a little bit bigger chippy brush, as we call them, and it's like dry brushing, and you don't want your brush really wet, so that's why I have a paper towel there, because I just kind of wipe it a little bit before I use it. So you don't want a lot of paint on your brush. And then I just kind of went over the back as well, just to give it that distressed look. And I did the same thing with the purple. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the little cotton balls and we're going to stick them where that little hole is in the back. So on the back of them, because we're going to stand these up and you'll be able to see the front and the back. So you'll be able to see the little cottontail in the back. And those little pieces these were pieces I had left over from another decor piece that I used. I always keep everything because you never know when you're going to use it. And then I just painted a Jenga block. I used the color truffle to paint these two pieces. And then I'm just going to stick it on to my little, I don't know what you would call it, my little stand-up thing. And I just stuck it down and with some hot glue, and it stayed perfectly. And they just turned out so adorable, so cute. I can't wait to put these up for Easter. And then I could keep them up even through spring because of the scrapbooking paper. So don't have to just keep it up for Easter. Bunnies are for any time, not just Easter. That's what I say anyway. That's what I think. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And I just put the Jenga block there just so it stands up. And that's it for that one. Then what I decided to do is I wanted to come in and just bump it up a little bit. So I added some of these pretty lilacs from the Dollar Tree. And these are just absolutely gorgeous. I love them. They're coming out with better and better florals, I think, at the Dollar Tree. And next, I'm just a few of them I'm going to stick on. I think I do 4 of them. 2 of the dark purple, the white one with a little bit of lavender, and then the lavender color one I put on there as well. And you'll see in a second, it is so cute, the front of it. It's absolutely adorable. And I glue that piece on. And then I'm going to do the next piece. And I just glue them to make sure they're going to stay put. But they look so cute. And now I'm going to go on to DIY number 2. I'm going to show you the pictures at the end of everything. So now this one, I took these little Easter eggs that come in a pack of 2 from the Dollar Tree. And this ones are that light purple color. And I had these inside that packet I just showed you with all the scrapbooking paper. And aren't they cute? They look like little doilies and they have butterflies on them. And this one has the lilac flowers. All I did was glue them down to the front of these eggs. And they make a beautiful decor piece, guys. And then I took some ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I just crisscrossed them. And this is just called a messy bow. And then I just took some of my lavender twine that I had in my stash and I just tied them all together. And when you make these bows, you just want to put them in an X and just kind of like move them around so mine kept sliding, but that's okay because once it's tied together with your jute twine, you can kind of move them around a little bit and make them look really messy and all mixed up. This is what I love about this bow because it's so easy to make and it's so cute on little pieces like this. So then I just trimmed up the edges to make sure all my ribbons were even. And then I stuck this cute little flour that I had in my stash. And that was it for these DIYs. Super simple, you guys. It doesn't have to be complicated when you want to make something beautiful for your home, and you can make it so cheap and on a budget. So always remember that. And now I'm going to actually show you the way I did it. I had this little spool of lace ribbon that was lavender. It was so pretty. And I can't remember where I got it. I think it was Hobby Lobby. It could have been when they have their 50% off their ribbon. Or it actually could have been at Dollar Tree. You never know. Sometimes Dollar Tree you find stuff and then you don't see it again for a long time. But that's what I did to both of those. And that's it for those two. Now next on to DIY number 3. This one, I took one of these little picture frame things with this little fall, happy fall in it that I had left over from fall, and I just took it out, and then I traced my box. Now, I had to cut it a little bit shorter. This one was a little bit tricky to trace and to fit in the box because you couldn't take this piece out from the bottom to trace it. So I had to kind of figure it out on my own, which wasn't too hard. I just made it a little bit shorter and it did fit in there just fine. And then next I took one of these wooden eggs, also from the Dollar Tree, and I made that lavender colored paint a little bit darker by adding some black to it, some black paint, and I just mixed it up and made my own color. So this is kind of like a deep purple, and I didn't want it to match the background of the paper that I used, the scrapbooking paper. So that's why I made it a little bit darker. And then I took my little sanding tool and I just sanded all the edges to give it a worn look to it. I wanted it to look a little worn and rustic. And then I took another one of those little pieces that was in my little scrapbooking kit that I had. And that one had little flowers on it. And I stuck that in the middle of the egg. And it just came out so cute and so adorable. Absolutely love it. And then I'm just going to stick that down the middle. I'm just going to glue it like I did with the other eggs. So simple, you guys, yet so pretty. And I'm definitely using purple this year in my house. So my birthday is in this month, February, and so amethyst is my birthstone, and I love that color. So that is why I love purple. And my girls love purple too, so. And next, I'm just going to glue this whole thing down in the center of my little picture frame here. And once that's in, you know me. If you know me, you know my channel. You know I try to bump it up another notch. So I found this pick that I had with some florals on it. It's so pretty, this pick is. And I took it apart and I took some of the greenery. And I'm just going to glue it down to the bottom, like kind of sticking out a little bit. And then I'm going to glue that little rose, lavender, beautiful purple rose on top of the greenery in the corner. And that is it for this DIY. Look at it. So cute. And then for my last DIY, I left this one last because I got this stuff from the Dollar Tree, except for the long, it's the ribbon, the bunny frame from the Dollar Tree. Now that long piece you see there of greenery, I actually got that for $1.50 in the clearance section at Hobby Lobby. Always check your clearance section, guys, because you never know. So this was the perfect opportunity to use this. I wanted to make this bunny frame have a lot of greenery around it. So all I did was zip tie it, and I just kept going around the wreath and using my little green zip ties that I have. And I just kept zip tying it on to my wreath form. And then those tulips that you saw, I got those. You get a bunch for $1.99 right now at Michael's, which is really a good bargain because you get quite a few. And we're going to use those in this bunny wreath as well. And this came out so pretty. And I actually do craft shows, and I bring a lot of the stuff that I make on my channel, I bring with me to the craft shows. And I sell pretty good at my craft shows. And I sell on my Etsy shop as well. And this will be up in my Etsy shop for sale as well. So like I said, I will have that link down below. And also, don't forget to check out, oh, there it is, all done, you guys. Isn't that pretty? Look at it. Oh my gosh. It came out so pretty. And to think I got that for $1.50, I mean, oh my goodness. It was such a bargain. So now I'm going to cut the tulips a little bit. I'm just going to cut each one off of the bush, and you get 3 of them on each stem. Some were 2, I think, but I just pulled up, you know, the little greenery on them and then just cut them. And I used, I think, 3 bunches of tulips for this wreath. And it was very simple. All I did was put a little glue on them and stick them into the greenery on the wreath, and they stay perfectly. So it was not hard at all. And this came together so easy. So if you ever see the greenery at Hobby Lobby's on sale, 50% off almost every other week, and you can get a piece like this, I'm sure. And always look like even after season, because these come in really handy to make things like this. So always look in your stores, especially in the clearance section. And this came out so cute. And also, I wanted to remind you all not to forget to check out the playlist down below. I will have that there so you could check everyone out. These ladies are all so talented. They are my friends, and they inspire me as well. And make sure you check them out. And also don't forget to check out, I will have the hosts links to their channels down below, and the guest host. So make sure you check them out as well. Show them some love, subscribe to their channels, and yeah, you can see what inspiration you can get from them as well. And now I'm just sticking them in. All I'm doing is I have a little glue pot. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They do sell them at Hobby Lobby, but I get them on Amazon. But it's a little glue pot. You put these little glue pellets in it, and it's by Kfarrauto, I believe. And you just dip your stem into the glue, and then you have glue on your stem, and you just stick it in. So easy. And me, for someone who makes wreaths, this is way easier for me to use. But if you don't make a lot of wreaths, then you can just use your glue gun. It's the same thing, and it works out perfectly. So I'm just showing you how I'm arranging them around the wreath form and sticking them into the greenery, and they stay with the glue, so they are not going anywhere. And I just kept doing that throughout my wreath, and I did it all the way around the face of the bunny there, the round part, and then the bunny ears. And this came out so beautiful, you guys. And I'm going to show you the finished pictures of everything at the end. So make sure you stay so you could see everything. And yeah, now I'm just going to cut up another bunch of tulips and stick those in. And I didn't want to cut these parts out because I wanted you guys to see. I mean, you can use anything. You can even stick moss to this, you guys, or greenery from the Dollar Tree. And there it is, you guys. Isn't it so pretty? I absolutely love it. But you know me, I had to put a bow on it. So I just had some spare ribbon left over, some yellow and pink. And I just made a little bow, and then I just tied it to the back of my wreath. And that was it. So I hope you guys liked the video. And if you did, you know, make sure you subscribe. I trying to put up videos every week, twice, 3 times a week, to give you guys some inspiration. So here come your close-ups of everything. I hope you like it. And don't forget to check everybody else out. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of yous. And you have a great day. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.